God says your son is crying alone for your help. Help him now. Open it immediately. In the quiet corners of this world, there are souls that ache with a longing no one else sees. There is a child somewhere, with tear-filled eyes turned to the heavens, whispering prayers that feel too small, too soft to be heard. And yet, God hears every one of them. His ears are never too far, his heart is never too distant, and his love is never delayed. The cries of the helpless never go unnoticed by the one who crafted them in his image. If you are reading this, it may be because God is reaching through these words to stir something in your heart, to awaken the spirit of compassion and love that He placed within you long ago. Type 1616 if you agree. There is a kind of pain that cannot be explained, only felt. It lives in the silences between conversations, in the quiet moments when everyone else seems to have moved on but the suffering remains. That is where Jesus walks the closest. That is where God pours out His deepest comfort. And that is where He sends others, maybe even you, to be the hands and heart of His mercy. Someone you love is hurting. Someone you hold close, maybe your son, is carrying burdens that he doesn't know how to speak of. He may smile in front of others, laugh when needed, and pretend everything is fine. But in the stillness of night, when the world has gone quiet, he cries out to the Father, begging for peace, for strength, for help. These tears are not ignored. God hears them. Everyone. He sees the battle in the heart of the one you love. He sees the loneliness, the confusion, the fear of not being enough, of not being understood, of drowning in a world that demands too much and gives too little. And in this moment, God is whispering to you, gently but firmly, that it is time to open your heart wide again. It is time to step into the space of prayer, of intercession, of loving without conditions or hesitation. There is power in a parent's prayer, more than the world knows. There is healing in a mother's arms, comfort in a father's presence. Sometimes, all a son needs is to know that someone still sees him, someone still believes in him, someone still loves him like God does. You may not have all the answers. You may feel weak yourself. You may be carrying your own storms, your own heartbreak, your own reasons to stay quiet. But there is a strength in you that did not come from this world, it came from heaven. The love of Christ that lives inside you is not small, and it is never too late to reach out. Do not wait for a perfect moment. Do not wait for the right words. Sometimes, all it takes is your presence, your embrace, your willingness to just listen without judgment. Let the Holy Spirit speak through you. Let the light of Christ flow from your actions, even if your words are few. The son who is crying may not even know how to ask for help anymore. He may feel like a burden, or he may believe no one cares. But you care. God knows you do. That's why you're here. That's why these words are finding you now, not later, not someday. Now. Type 333 if you trust in God. God never calls you to something without equipping you for it. He does not ask you to carry someone's pain alone. He walks with you, fills your spirit with peace, gives your heart the gentleness it needs. He gives you courage when you feel empty, and reminds you that nothing you do in love is ever wasted. If you reach out today, even in the smallest way, God will honor it. He will step into the space between you and the one who is hurting and breathe healing into every word, every touch, every tear. Love heals. Not the world's version of love, but God's, the kind that sacrifices, the kind that shows up, the kind that doesn't give up when things are hard. Your son may not say the words. He may not know how to express what he's going through, but God sees it all. And He chose you to be the one who stands beside him, prays over him, and fights for him in the Spirit when no one else sees. God never overlooks the pain of His children, and He never lets their cries fall into silence. He is moving now through you to be an answer to that prayer. In those moments, when tears fall without permission and hearts break in silence, God leans in the closest. He is not far from the pain. He is not blind to the ache. He sees what others miss, and he knows what is hidden deep in the heart of your son, who sits quietly somewhere, hoping that someone will notice he's slipping, slowly, softly, almost invisibly. But the Lord sees it all, and he whispers into your soul now, saying, "Help him, don't wait, don't hesitate, he needs you." Type 2121 if you believe. Maybe you've sensed it, a change in his smile, a heaviness in his voice, a distant look in his eyes that wasn't always there. Maybe you've brushed it off, thinking it's just a phase, or he needs space. But God is telling you something different. He is pulling on your spirit gently, but with urgency. He is showing you that beneath the surface, there is a battle being fought in the heart of the one you love. A battle that cannot be ignored. A battle that needs you not to fix everything, not to have all the right answers, but to simply be present, loving, kind, and open. God created the bond between a parent and a child with deep purpose. It's not just emotional, it's spiritual. When a child is in pain, a parent feels it in ways words can't describe. But even deeper than that connection is the tie that God placed between your heart and His will. Right now, He's asking you to lean into that tie, to not just feel the burden, but to move with compassion, to act in love, to bring light into the darkness where your son may be quietly drowning. It's not too late. It's never too late when God is in the center. An ancient 9-word code, once reserved for high-level insiders, has been uncovered. It's simple, quick, and shockingly effective at drawing money and blessings into your life. Neuroscientists confirm it stimulates the brain's receiving center, an area dormant in most people. People everywhere are calling it the 30-second miracle. Click the link in the description and comments before the authorities remove it again. This is not about shame or guilt. It's not about what you didn't do before or what you could have done better. God doesn't speak in accusations, He speaks in invitations. And today, He is inviting you to love again, to reach again, to believe again. He is asking you to be the answer to a cry that you might not have heard with your ears, but your soul felt anyway. You've carried that worry, that unspoken fear, and now is the time to turn it into love in action. Maybe your son is older now. Maybe he's far away. Maybe you haven't spoken deeply in a long time. That doesn't stop God from working. That doesn't limit His grace. Whether your son is a little boy with tears on his pillow or a grown man hiding his hurt behind a mask of strength, God sees no difference. He still calls you to Him. He still asks you to see beyond what is shown and feel what is real. There is a longing in every child's heart to be seen, to be known, to be loved without conditions. And your love, touched by God, can reach Him in ways nothing else can. You may wonder what difference a conversation can make. You may feel unsure, afraid of saying the wrong thing, or worried about opening wounds. But God goes before you. He prepares hearts. He softens places that once felt like stone. He breaks through pride, fear, shame, and silence. When you move in love, God moves with you. And when God moves, nothing remains the same. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. There is something miraculous about showing up. Just being there. Just letting someone know they are not invisible. Maybe your son won't open up at first. Maybe his pain is buried under years of quiet suffering. That's okay. Healing takes time, and God is never in a rush. What matters most is that He knows you care enough to stay, to listen, to pray, to walk with Him even if the path is hard. There is no healing too deep for God. There is no hurt too tangled for His grace, and there is no relationship too broken that He cannot restore. This moment is sacred. It is an opportunity, not just for your son's healing, but for your own. For God to do something new in both of you. To write a chapter of hope where sorrow used to live. To rebuild trust where walls were once high. to breathe joy into places where laughter had gone missing. He is doing that now. Even as you read this, He is preparing the way. Open your heart. Let God lead you in love. Speak when He gives you words. Stay silent when peace is enough. And above all, never stop praying. A praying parent carries more power in the spirit than they could ever imagine. Your prayers don't disappear. They echo in heaven. They surround your son. They guard him, guide him, cover him. They plant seeds that God waters in perfect time. It is the feeling that something precious needs attention, that a soul you love is standing at a fragile edge, hoping someone will notice before the loneliness grows heavier. God speaks because He loves, and when He speaks to you about your son, it is not to alarm you, but to invite you into a moment of deep, holy care that can change everything. There are seasons when people learn to survive by becoming silent. Your son may have learned to carry his pain quietly, believing that strength means not needing anyone, believing that his struggles are something he must face alone. God sees this silence. He sees how heavy it has become. He sees the nights when thoughts feel louder than comfort, when the heart feels tired from pretending, when hope feels far away. And God is telling you now that your presence, guided by His love, can bring rest to a heart that has been weary for too long. Type 2020 to claim miracles. Sometimes help does not arrive as answers or solutions, but as warmth, a gentle voice, a calm presence, a reminder that love has not left. God works powerfully through simple acts done with sincere hearts. A message sent with kindness, a moment of shared silence without pressure, a prayer whispered quietly over his life when no one else is around. These moments may seem small to the world, but they are large in the hands of God. He multiplies love, He magnifies compassion, He turns simple obedience into deep healing. Your son's pain does not mean failure. It does not mean weakness. It does not mean God has turned away. It means he is human, living in a world that can be harsh, confusing, and heavy. Jesus understands this kind of pain deeply. He understands the feeling of being misunderstood, of carrying sorrow quietly, of loving others while hurting inside. The heart of Jesus is especially close to those who feel alone, and He walks beside them even when they cannot feel His steps. God is asking you to open something immediately, not a door made of wood, but a door of the heart, a door that leads to patience, gentleness, and grace. This opening does not demand perfection. It does not require you to say everything correctly. It simply requires willingness. God fills the gaps where you feel unsure. He gives wisdom where fear tries to speak. He gives peace when emotions feel overwhelming. When you allow God to lead your actions, love flows naturally, softly, and safely. There may be things your son cannot yet explain, wounds he does not yet understand, fears he cannot name. God knows them all. He knows where the hurt began. He knows what moments shaped it. He knows what words were never spoken and what comfort was never received. And still, He chooses to heal, gently and patiently. Healing with God is not rushed. It is steady. It is careful. It honors the heart. When you align yourself with His timing and His Spirit, you become part of that careful healing. A hidden 9-word prayer rediscovered in a sealed government document is now changing everything for those who dare to use it. It activates your brain's forgotten abundance channel, helping you manifest prosperity in ways you've never seen before. The results: clear debts, growing savings, sudden opportunities speak for themselves. Don't wait until this vanishes. Click the link before it's erased from the internet. It is important to remember that helping does not mean controlling. God does not ask you to force change. He asks you to love without conditions and to trust Him with the outcome. Love creates safety. Safety creates openness. Openness allows healing to begin. When your son feels safe in your presence, walls slowly lower. Fear loosens its grip. Hope quietly returns. This is how God works, step by step, breath by breath. Type yes to affirm faith. Your prayers carry more strength than you realize, even when spoken quietly, even when whispered through tears, even when words feel insufficient. God listens to the heart behind the prayer, not the perfection of the words. He gathers every prayer and holds them with care. He releases answers in ways you may not expect, through timing, through people, through inner peace, through renewed strength. No prayer offered in love is ever wasted. There will be moments when progress feels slow, when your son still struggles, when emotions rise again. Do not be discouraged. Healing is not a straight line. God remains faithful through every step. He does not abandon the process halfway. He does not grow tired of restoring what is broken. His patience is endless, His mercy is constant, and His love never weakens. Allow yourself to rest in God as you care for your son. You do not have to carry this alone. Bring your worries to God. Lay them gently at His feet. Let Him renew your strength so that your love remains soft and steady. When you are supported by God, you can support others without losing yourself. Sometimes, the greatest pain doesn't make a sound. It lives quietly behind closed doors, behind forced smiles and silent days, buried deep in the hearts of those who feel like they have no voice left to cry out. Your son may be walking with that quiet sorrow right now, hoping someone still remembers him, still sees him, still loves him without needing him to be perfect. And God, in His mercy, is stirring your spirit to respond, not in fear or panic, but in the peace and purpose that only He provides. There is nothing random about this moment. It is not by chance that your heart feels a tug today. God is drawing you closer to His heartbeat, and through you, closer to your son's need. It might not be easy. It may be uncomfortable. There may be walls between you built by years of misunderstanding, or simply by time and silence. But God does not speak without power. When He moves you to act, He also makes a way. He does not ask you to carry what you cannot hold. He asks you to trust Him, and then follow Him one step at a time. Type 222 if you are ready to walk with love. So many times people carry pain because they think no one has the time to care. They think their suffering would burden others, or that they need to get over it quietly. But pain that is hidden only grows heavier. It begins to shape how a person sees the world, how they see themselves, and even how they see God. Your son may be wrestling with thoughts that are hard to share, with questions that don't have easy answers, and with emotions that feel too big to carry alone. But God is not asking him to walk alone. He is placing you there as a light, a refuge, a quiet voice of love in a loud, confused world. You may not know where to start, and that's okay. You don't have to have the right words. Sometimes, the most healing thing is not a perfect conversation, but a gentle presence. Sit with him, be near. Let love speak louder than anything else. A warm hand, a listening ear, a soft voice, these are tools of the Spirit, and they reach places that words never could. Just being there, just showing up again and again tells your son, you are not forgotten, you are not too far gone. I see you. God sees you. We are here. Even if he resists at first, don't let that silence your love. Sometimes, pain creates walls not because someone wants to shut people out, but because they're afraid of being seen too clearly. They fear judgment. They fear being misunderstood. They fear that if someone really saw the full weight of their pain, they'd walk away. But love that comes from God doesn't walk away. It stays. It listens. It endures. It proves itself over time, without demanding anything in return. God is not asking you to fix everything. He is asking you to be a vessel of his compassion. Your son may need time to open up, and that's okay. Love is patient. It doesn't pressure. It waits gently, always offering safety, always offering peace. And in the waiting, God is working. He's softening hearts. He's preparing the soil for healing to grow. He's guiding every step you take in faith. Type 555 if you believe God's timing is perfect. There is no pain so deep that God cannot heal it, no shadow so thick that His light cannot break through. Your son's cries, silent or spoken, are being heard in heaven. And you, dear soul, are being invited to be part of the answer, not the whole answer, just a part, a gentle step, a whisper of hope, a reminder of love. And when you step into that space, God fills in the rest. You may look back and wonder how things drifted apart. You may carry guilt or regret for times you missed signs, moments you didn't see, words you didn't say. But God is not calling you to the past. He's calling you to the now. Right now is where healing begins. Right now is where grace is present. Right now is where the Holy Spirit is moving. Let go of yesterday's weight. God has already forgiven what you regret. Now is the time to walk forward in faith. Maybe the pain in your son's heart began long ago. Maybe it was caused by others. Maybe it came from deep disappointments, from things he's never shared. It doesn't matter how long the storm has lasted, God still speaks peace over waves. He still calms hearts. He still breathes life into places that felt lost. And He still uses people, ordinary, imperfect, open-hearted people like you. What if everything you've been chasing, wealth, freedom, success, could be drawn to you automatically, simply by unlocking a secret brainwave hidden inside you? Once classified by intelligence agencies, this discovery is now available to the public, and it's changing lives instantly. Picture yourself debt-free, stress-free, and thriving. The window is open, but not forever. And every second you wait is wealth slipping from your hands, so grasp it now. Click the link in video description and comments below to awaken this money magnet frequency and watch abundance flow into your life today. So breathe, trust, love deeply, move gently. And never forget that the same God who created your son, who knows every thought in his heart, who has seen every moment of his life, is the one leading you now. He never abandons His children. He never grows weary. And He is always, always on time. God is reminding you that pain does not always shout. Sometimes it waits quietly, hoping someone will notice before it becomes too heavy to carry. Your son may be carrying that weight right now, not because he wants to, but because he does not know how to lay it down. And God, in His kindness, is reaching out to you as part of His plan to bring comfort, safety, and hope back into that tired heart. There is a deep tenderness in God's voice when He speaks about His children. He sees the places where confidence faded, where joy became fragile, where hope felt delayed. He knows the moments your son felt unseen, unheard, or misunderstood. He knows the prayers whispered through clenched teeth and the tears wiped away before anyone could notice. Nothing is hidden from Him. And because God sees it all, He also knows exactly what kind of love your son needs right now. Not a love that demands explanations, but a love that simply stays. Type 1919 to receive miracles. Sometimes people believe that reaching out means reopening wounds, but God's love does not reopen pain to harm it. He opens it to heal it. Healing requires light, and light requires openness. When you open your heart, when you make space without pressure, you allow God's light to enter gently. Your son may not be ready to share everything. He may not even understand everything himself. That is okay. God does not rush healing. He nurtures it patiently, like a gardener tending fragile roots, protecting them from harsh conditions until they grow strong enough to reach the surface. You might feel unsure about your role. You might wonder if you have the strength to be there consistently or the wisdom to say the right things. God is not asking for perfection. He is asking for availability. A willing heart is enough for Him to work through. When you choose love, God supplies the rest. He fills your words with grace. He steadies your emotions. He gives you calm when fear tries to rise. You are not walking into this alone. God walks with you, step by step. There are seasons in life when people feel forgotten, even by those who love them most. That feeling can sink deep and quietly shape how someone sees themselves. Your son may feel like his struggles do not matter, like he is expected to be strong all the time, like there is no room for weakness. But God does not see weakness as failure. He sees it as a place where his strength can rest. And through your gentle presence, he wants to remind your son that he does not have to carry everything alone anymore. Sometimes love looks like listening without interrupting. Sometimes it looks like sitting together in silence without needing to fill the space. Sometimes it looks like checking in, even when there is no response. These small acts may feel ordinary, but they speak loudly to a hurting heart. They say, "You matter, you are not a burden, you are worth my time." God uses these moments more than you realize. They plant seeds of trust that grow slowly but deeply. Type 666 if you trust Jesus. Do not be discouraged if change does not happen overnight. Healing often unfolds quietly, in layers, over time. There may be days when your son seems distant again, days when old habits or heavy emotions resurface. That does not mean your love has failed or God has stopped working. It simply means healing is ongoing. God remains faithful through every stage. He does not abandon what he begins. He stays present, even when progress feels slow. It is also important to care for your own heart during this time. Loving someone who is hurting can be emotionally draining if you try to do it alone. Bring your worries to God. Speak honestly with him. Let him hold the parts you cannot fix. God restores those who pour themselves out in love. When you rest in him, your love remains steady instead of strained. There is power in praying over your son, even when he does not hear the words. Prayer covers spaces conversations cannot reach. Prayer brings peace where anxiety lives. Prayer invites God into every moment, even the ordinary ones. Your prayers matter. They surround your son with protection, wisdom, and comfort. God hears every word and responds in ways seen and unseen. This season is not meaningless. It is shaping something new. God is building deeper connection, stronger compassion, and a renewed sense of trust. Even if it feels difficult now, this time will one day be remembered as the moment love chose to stay instead of turning away. That choice carries eternal value. The heaviness you sense is not fear. It is compassion calling you forward. God is reminding you that love is not passive. Love moves. Love notices. Love reaches even when it feels uncomfortable. Somewhere your son is carrying thoughts he does not know how to release, emotions he does not know how to name, and a loneliness that has slowly grown louder in the quiet. God sees it clearly, and he is gently drawing you closer so that love can meet pain before it hardens into despair. Your son's tears may not fall where you can see them. They may fall inside his heart, silently, unnoticed by the world. He may continue showing strength on the outside while feeling fragile on the inside. God understands this kind of hidden suffering deeply. Jesus walked among people who smiled while breaking inside, and his heart always leaned toward them. He never dismissed quiet pain. He never overlooked silent cries, and he still doesn't. The same compassion that moved Jesus to sit beside the hurting is now moving through you, inviting you to sit beside your son with gentleness and patience. Type Amen if you believe God's love heals. What if the fastest path to wealth was already inside your mind, waiting to be activated by a powerful sound wave? Scientists call it the money-attracting frequency, and once awakened, it begins drawing opportunities, success, and financial freedom like never before. Imagine the relief of no more bills and the joy of living your dreams. This is more than an offer. It is a divine turning point. Your destiny is waiting, but only if you choose to move now. Click the link in the video description and comments below to turn on this ancient brainwave today. It is important to remember that pain often makes people pull inward, not because they do not want help, but because they fear being misunderstood or judged. Your son may not know how to explain what he feels. He may worry that his struggles are too heavy or inconvenient. God wants you to know that your presence alone already speaks safety. When you approach him with kindness rather than urgency, with understanding rather than demands, you create a space where healing can slowly breathe again. God does not require you to have all the answers. He does not expect you to remove every struggle. He asks you to walk alongside, to reflect his patience, and to let love guide your actions. Sometimes the most powerful support is quiet consistency. Showing up again, checking in gently, offering warmth without pressure. These acts may seem small, but they are strong enough to soften hardened fear and rebuild trust over time. Your son's journey may include confusion, frustration, and moments of withdrawal. Do not take these moments as rejection. Pain can make people protect themselves in ways that look like distance. Stay steady. Stay kind. Let your love remain calm even when emotions feel uncertain. God is working beneath the surface, even when you cannot see immediate change. He is shaping hearts quietly, carefully, with great intention. There is also healing in reminding your son, through your actions, that he is not defined by his struggles. God sees him as whole, valued, and deeply loved. When you speak encouragement, when you acknowledge his worth, when you affirm his presence in your life, you help realign his heart with truth rather than fear. God often uses familiar voices to remind his children of who they are when they forget. Do not underestimate the power of prayer spoken softly and consistently. Prayer does not need to be dramatic to be effective. A simple prayer offered with sincerity carries great weight in God's hands. Pray for peace to settle in your son's mind. Pray for strength to rise gently within him. Pray for wisdom to know when to speak and when to listen. God hears every word and moves in ways that may not always be visible, but are always purposeful. Type 1111 if you trust God's timing. It is also okay to acknowledge your own emotions during this time. Loving someone who is hurting can awaken fear, sadness, and helplessness. Bring those feelings to God honestly. He is not asking you to be strong on your own. He is offering to strengthen you as you love. When you rest in him, your love becomes steadier, more patient, and less burdened by worry. There may be moments when you feel like progress has stopped, when your son seems distant again, or when old patterns resurface. Do not lose hope. Healing often moves in quiet cycles rather than straight lines. God remains present in every stage. He does not abandon the work he begins. Each moment of love, each prayer, each gentle interaction contributes to a greater restoration unfolding over time. Your willingness to stay matters more than you realize. Staying when things are slow, staying when conversations feel limited, staying when emotions feel heavy. This kind of faithful love reflects God's own heart. He stays, he waits, he continues loving without conditions. And through that love, transformation becomes possible. This season is shaping both of you. It is teaching patience, compassion, and trust. Even if it feels difficult now, it is not wasted. God is using this time to deepen connection, soften hearts, and prepare healing that will reveal itself in time. Even in the hearts of those surrounded by people. Even in the hearts of those we think are doing fine. Your son may be standing in that kind of loneliness right now, not by choice, but because the weight he's carrying has made him believe he has to face it alone. But God is not letting that pain stay hidden. He is bringing it to light, not to shame, not to accuse, but to invite you into something sacred. There is a cry within your son that only God truly hears, but in his mercy, he is allowing you to feel it. Not all pain is loud, and not all battles are seen. But God sees it all. And when He invites someone to respond, it means He is already making a way for healing to come. He is not asking you to be perfect. He's asking you to be willing. The love of a parent is powerful, but the love of a parent moved by God's Spirit is unstoppable. It can reach places that no words ever could. Type yes if you choose to walk in faith today. When Jesus walked among the broken, He did not rush their healing. He did not tell them to be strong and move on. He stopped. He listened. He wept. He stayed. That is the example He left for us, not one of solving every problem instantly, but of being fully present in another's suffering. And today, God is asking you to follow that same heart, to stay close, to listen without fixing, to love without conditions, to sit beside your son even if he can't explain what's wrong, even if all he can offer is silence or tears. Do not be discouraged if he cannot respond right away. Grief, fear, and confusion can wrap tightly around someone's heart. But your presence, your softness, your patience, these are the tools God uses to untangle even the deepest pain. One of the greatest lies pain tells is that it must be carried alone. But love speaks a better truth, and God, through you, is speaking that truth louder now. Every time you choose to lean into love instead of pulling away, you build a bridge between your son's heart and God's healing. You may not see it at first. You may not hear a thank you. But the seed is planted, and God never forgets what has been planted in faith. He waters it. He grows it. He tends to it with more care than you can imagine. After decades in government lockdown, a short 9-word phrase has resurfaced, and those who whisper it daily are experiencing miracles of money and freedom. Researchers say it switches on a hidden abundance circuit in the brain, the same one billionaires unknowingly rely on. It's easy, fast, and astonishingly powerful. Click the link before this rare discovery is censored again. When God says, "Help him now," He's not just calling you into action. He's also preparing your own heart for healing. Because sometimes, the very love we offer others becomes the doorway for our own restoration. Maybe you've been carrying guilt, regret, or sorrow for things left unsaid or undone. God is not here to condemn you. He is here to renew you, to remind you that it is never too late, that love can begin again, that grace still flows freely, and that what feels broken can be mended in His hands. Type 222 if you believe it's not too late. Let God lead your words. Let Him shape your tone. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is, "I'm here. I love you." You don't have to carry this by yourself anymore. That kind of love reflects the heart of Christ, a heart that never gives up, a heart that never walks away, a heart that draws near, even when things are messy, confusing, or uncertain. You do not have to rush this. Stay close, and trust that God is doing more than you can see. Even in silence, He is working. Even in stillness, He is present. The moments that seem the smallest, a look, a gentle word, a quiet prayer, are often the ones that bring the deepest healing. God sees it all, and He honors it all. The relationship between a parent and child is sacred. It was designed by God to reflect His own love for us. That love is patient, forgiving, tender, and unshakable. And when that love is revived through His Spirit, it becomes a source of strength not just for the child, but for the parent too. So let Him breathe life back into your connection. Let Him open doors you thought were closed. Let Him show you that your love, guided by His heart, can change everything. That quiet ache in your spirit, that heaviness you can't quite explain, is not confusion. It's God's gentle prompting, His soft whisper reminding you that there's something deeper going on, something that needs your attention, not later, not tomorrow, but now. God is opening a window into your son's world because He knows love has the power to reach where no other voice can. You may feel unsure. You may feel like too much time has passed, like too much distance has formed, or like you've lost the closeness you once had. But God is not looking at what was lost. He's focused on what can be restored, and He's asking you to join Him in the work of mending, healing, and bringing warmth back into a place that has gone cold, not by force, not by pressure, but by love that refuses to give up even when things feel hard. Type 2323 if you believe love never gives up. Sometimes we think helping someone means having the right things to say or knowing exactly what they need. But most of the time, what the heart needs isn't a perfect answer, it's connection. It's someone who stays, someone who cares, someone who is willing to sit beside the pain without needing to fix it right away. Jesus modeled that kind of love every day. He met people where they were. He didn't demand they be whole before they came close. He welcomed them broken, tired, misunderstood, and hurting. And through that welcome, He began to heal what no one else could touch. That same love is alive in you because God placed it there. He's given you a heart that feels deeply, a spirit that senses more than words can explain. That's not weakness, that's God's way of preparing you to love someone who's hurting in silence. Your son doesn't need you to be strong in a worldly way. He doesn't need you to have all the answers. He needs you to show up, to notice, to reach out with calm hands and an open heart, and remind him that he is never alone, even in his hardest hour. It's okay if the door doesn't swing wide open right away. Pain can cause people to protect themselves with silence, with distance, with short replies or avoided conversations. But don't let that discourage you. Stay close anyway. Keep showing up in small, gentle ways. Let your love be consistent, not rushed. Love that lasts is the kind that shows up quietly again and again until trust starts to bloom again. God is working in this, even when things feel still, even when the situation feels stuck. His Spirit never stops moving. He is going ahead of your every word, softening the hard places, preparing the heart of your son to receive comfort. And He's also working in your heart, giving you the strength to love with patience and the grace to carry this burden without growing weary. Type 1212 if you walk by faith, not by fear. Every small act of love you offer is being used. The short message you send, the kind word you speak, the quiet prayer you whisper when no one is around. These are not meaningless. They are seeds, and God is watering each one with His faithfulness. Sometimes healing comes all at once, like a sudden light, but more often, it comes slowly through steady presence, soft moments, and deep trust. God honors both. It's important to remember that you don't need to pretend to be okay all the time either. If you feel tired, bring that to God. If you feel helpless, say it to Him. He is not expecting you to carry this all on your own. In fact, He wants you to hand Him the weight of what you can't control. Let Him fill you back up so you can keep pouring love out without emptying yourself completely. There may be moments when you doubt if you're making a difference. Moments when your son still seems distant, or when your efforts feel unnoticed. Don't lose heart. God sees what others don't. He sees the quiet way you love, and He's using it more powerfully than you know. Your love is not bouncing off a wall, it's being absorbed, bit by bit, into a heart that needs it more than it knows how to say. This is not just about healing your son. This is about healing a bond, restoring a connection, and drawing both of you closer to the heart of God. As you walk this path, you will begin to see how even the pain has been used for a greater purpose. God does not waste anything. He takes every tear, every cry, every prayer, and weaves them into a story of hope, redemption, and love. A secret 9-word prayer, once classified under a forgotten program, is now reshaping lives across the globe. People are seeing unexpected deposits, financial breakthroughs, and emotional peace within days of using it. Scientists confirm it rewires the subconscious to attract prosperity naturally. It takes seconds, but the results can last a lifetime. Don't delay. Click the link before it disappears. Your son may not speak it out loud, but God sees every corner of his heart. He sees the confusion he tries to hide, the sadness that slips through the cracks, the questions that have no easy answers. And instead of leaving that pain in the dark, God brings it into the light by touching your heart and saying, "Help him, he needs you," not because you're perfect, not because you have all the right things to say, but because you love him. And love, when guided by God, has a way of reaching into places that words cannot. This moment isn't about going back to the past. It's not about regrets or guilt. It's about right now, this moment where God is giving you an opportunity to show up again with gentleness, patience, and quiet strength. There's something in your spirit that's being stirred for a reason, and that reason is rooted in love. Type 2020 to claim miracles over your family. Your son might be smiling on the outside while quietly breaking inside. He might be showing up for others, doing his best, keeping up appearances, while his own soul grows tired. Pain often hides in plain sight, and it takes the eyes of love to see it. God is giving you those eyes right now. He's helping you notice the details others miss: the hesitation in his voice, the shift in his mood, the way he pulls away when life gets hard. They are sacred invitations to lean in closer, to stay beside him, to remind him through actions that he is not walking through this life alone. When Jesus walked among the hurting, he never rushed their healing. He never told them to be stronger or quieter. He simply came close. He offered himself fully, with no demands, no judgment, only presence. That's the example you're being called to follow. Your presence, your willingness to stay, your quiet prayers, these are more powerful than you know. You might not feel equipped. You may feel unsure of how to start, or afraid that you'll say the wrong thing. But remember this: God doesn't wait for us to be ready. He uses us as we are. If you have love in your heart and a willingness to show up, then God has everything he needs to work through you. Let go of the pressure to be perfect. Just be real, be present, be honest, and let God do the deeper work in the silence, in the stillness, in the slow rebuilding of trust. Healing doesn't always come with loud breakthroughs. Sometimes it arrives in the softest ways: a shared meal, a late-night conversation, a moment of eye contact that says, "I see you, I care, I'm here." These moments may seem ordinary, but in the hands of God, they are holy. He blesses every small step you take toward love. Type 555 if you trust God's love to restore. This may be the season where your relationship with your son begins to shift, not because things are easy, but because love is finally given the space to grow again. There's beauty in the quiet mending, in the courage it takes to try again, to reach out when you're not sure how you'll be received. That courage matters. That willingness speaks louder than any grand gesture ever could. Don't be discouraged if your love is met with silence at first. That silence is not rejection. It's simply the space where pain is still trying to feel safe again. Keep loving anyway. Keep praying. Keep trusting. What may feel like a small offering is actually a seed of healing in God's hands. And he never lets a seed fall to the ground without purpose. There will be moments when you're tired, moments when it feels like nothing is changing. But please don't let that convince you to give up. God never stops working, even when we can't see it. He moves quietly sometimes, softening hearts, aligning moments, preparing answers. And when the time is right, those seeds you've planted in love will begin to bloom in ways only God can orchestrate. You may look back one day and realize that this moment, this very season, was when things began to change. When hope returned, when walls slowly lowered, when understanding took root. That change won't come because you tried to fix everything. It will come because you chose to stay. You chose love. You chose faith. And when he speaks about your son, he doesn't speak in vague concern. He speaks in love, in urgency, in compassion so deep that it moves the soul. He sees what you cannot. He hears what no one else does. The thoughts your son battles in silence. The pressure that steals his rest. The questions he's too afraid to ask. The longing to be understood, to be safe, to be loved without needing to be perfect. God hears all of it, and now he's asking you to step into that sacred space to help, to comfort, to bring peace, and most of all, to stay. You may feel like you don't know how to reach him. Maybe time has passed. Maybe life got in the way. Maybe words were said that built walls instead of bridges. But God restores what we think is out of reach. He is not limited by distance or silence or broken seasons. When he moves through love, walls fall and hearts soften, no matter how long they've been closed off. And this time, it won't be by force. It will be by love so gentle, so steady, that healing begins to rise before a single word is spoken. Type 666 if you trust Jesus to lead your heart. Your son might not say he needs you. He might not know how to. Pain often hides behind strength, behind humor, behind silence. But God sees right through it. He sees your son as he created him, deeply loved, still redeemable, still held in his purpose. The world may have taught your son that vulnerability is weakness, but God is showing you now that being known is not something to fear, it's something to be embraced. He is calling you to be that safe place, a reflection of his love that doesn't waver, doesn't shame, and doesn't turn away. What if 7 minutes could rewrite your financial future forever? This hidden frequency, backed by neuroscience, flips the brain's natural wealth switch, unleashing unstoppable prosperity. People are calling it the money magnet sound, and it's already transforming lives. But hesitation means missing out while others move ahead. This is your moment to act. Click the link in the video description and comments below to awaken the wealth inside you today before the chance slips away. You don't have to come with answers. Come with presence. Your presence says, "You matter. I'm not going anywhere. You are not alone." This is the kind of presence that heals, not because it fixes the pain, but because it shares it. Jesus did this. He entered people's pain. He didn't rush it. He didn't preach at them. He sat with them. He wept with them. He listened. He touched their wounds with tenderness. And slowly something inside them changed. That same Jesus lives in you, and he will help you walk with your son through this valley. Sometimes we think we need the right moment or the perfect conditions to start again, but God says now is enough. If your heart is open, that's enough. If your spirit is willing, he'll do the rest. Don't wait for everything to line up. God will guide your steps, your words, your timing. He never sends you into something unprepared. He is already going ahead of you, preparing the way, softening the ground, opening the door. Type 1111 if you believe God is already working. There may be tears, his and yours. Let them come. Tears aren't weakness. They're release, they're honesty, they're healing. Let them fall if they must. Let the quiet moments linger. Don't rush to fill the silence. Some of the most sacred healing happens when nothing is said but everything is felt. It's in those moments that God moves deepest. Not with loud declarations, but with a love so still, so present, that peace begins to bloom again. Your son may not know how to receive your love right away. That's okay. Love isn't impatient. Love doesn't need applause or recognition. It's not in a hurry. It waits. It returns. It keeps showing up. And in time, love softens what fear once guarded. That's what God is doing through you, bringing back the warmth, the trust, the connection that once felt lost. This isn't about fixing someone. It's about reminding them that they were never meant to carry this alone. You might feel tired. You might feel like you're not enough, but God is your strength. He will renew you. When your heart breaks, He holds it. When you feel small, He fills you. Every moment you choose love over frustration, patience over fear, you are doing holy work. You are not failing, you are planting seeds. Seeds of healing, seeds of hope, seeds that God Himself will water. This journey is not yours to carry alone. Keep bringing your own heart to God. Keep letting Him tend to your tiredness. He understands your love, your worry, your tears. And He's not asking you to be everything. He's simply asking you to love with Him, not without Him. You love. He heals. You stay close. He does the deeper work. The healing has already begun. Every time you follow God's prompting to reach out, to stay present, to soften your tone, to offer a gentle word, you are helping open a heart that's been locked in fear for too long. Your love, filled with grace, is what God is using to help your son believe again. Believe that love still exists, that people don't always leave, that there is still a place for him to be understood, accepted, and restored. And yet, even in this silence, God hears him, God sees him. And more than that, God is calling you softly, lovingly to reach into that quiet space and be a vessel of comfort, healing, and understanding. This is not just a calling. It's a divine invitation to love in the way Jesus loves. Gently, patiently, without judgment. There may be things your son has carried for years, things he's never spoken aloud. Maybe he feels too ashamed, too lost, too afraid of being misunderstood. But God doesn't look at him and see failure. He doesn't see weakness. He sees a beloved child who is exhausted from holding everything together and just needs someone to say, "You don't have to do this by yourself anymore." That someone is you. You, guided by God's heart, can be the voice that reminds him that love is still real, that healing is still possible, that home is not just a place, it's the arms that stay open. Type Amen if you believe your love can be someone's healing. Don't wait for a perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. God is speaking because He knows time is precious. He knows healing begins the very instant someone feels safe enough to take off the mask. This isn't about fixing everything overnight. It's about planting the seed of love and watching what God can grow from it. The first step might be small: a message, a visit, a quiet prayer over him when he doesn't know you're praying. These things may not seem like much, but to a heart that's been hurting in silence, they mean everything. God will give you the words. Or, if words aren't needed, He'll give you the peace to simply be there. Sometimes, presence speaks louder than anything else. The quiet reassurance of a hand on the shoulder, a gentle look, or a soft, "I'm here." Those are sacred acts. Acts that Jesus Himself often used. There were times He didn't speak much. He just stayed close. And that closeness brought the kind of healing that no sermon ever could. It's okay if your son doesn't respond right away. It's okay if the walls don't come down immediately. God's love is not rushed, and neither is the healing He brings. He works through time, through consistency, through the faithful love of people who choose to stay. Let your love be a steady light, not a sudden flame that fades. Let it be patient, like the Father's love, always near, always ready, always faithful. Type 1919 if you believe healing is happening, even now. You may wonder what difference you're really making. You may not see the fruit of your effort right away. But faith means trusting that even when you don't see results, God is still working. Your love, your prayers, your small daily efforts are never wasted. God takes every one of them and adds His power to it. He works in the quiet, in the background, in the in-between moments when we think nothing is changing. That's when the real transformation begins. The truth is simple: you were created for abundance, yet a dormant brain signal has been holding you back. Scientists call it the money-attracting frequency. And once awakened, it pulls wealth into your life like never before. Others who pressed play once are already transformed, living the life they dreamed of. Do not hesitate or let regret steal this chance. Click the link in the video description and comments below to unlock your prosperity now. Let God carry the parts that feel too heavy. You were never meant to do this on your own. He is your strength, He is your wisdom, He is your peace. And when you start to feel discouraged, He will remind you that He is not done writing this story. What may feel broken today can become a testimony of restoration tomorrow. All it takes is faith, love, and the willingness to keep showing up. And when you feel tired, bring your own heart to God just as honestly. Let Him refill you with grace. Let Him remind you that your love has a purpose and that your effort is part of something much greater than what you can see. This is not just about your son's healing, it's also about your healing. It's about deepening your own connection with God as He works through you. God is already preparing the breakthrough. He is already softening hearts, already weaving moments together, already opening doors that seemed shut for too long. Keep trusting Him, keep leaning into Him. The love you carry when surrendered to God becomes a powerful force of healing, hope, and transformation. Your son may be in that space right now, caught between wanting to be okay and not knowing how to ask for help. But God sees what is hidden. He hears what is unspoken, and He is drawing your heart to respond not with urgency born from panic, but with tenderness rooted in love. This isn't about a quick fix. This is about a sacred invitation to bring warmth and light to a place that's felt dark for too long. You may have noticed small signs, a change in his energy, a heaviness in his spirit, a distant look in his eyes. Or maybe nothing at all has seemed obvious, but something in your spirit has felt different. That is the Holy Spirit stirring within you, nudging you, making space in your heart to respond with love. God often speaks in quiet ways, especially when He's asking you to move gently towards someone who has been wounded. This is not a time for fear. It's a time for love. A time to reach out not because you have all the right things to say, but because you're willing to be present. Type 222 if you're ready to walk in love today. There is a kind of love that carries healing just by being near. It doesn't come with conditions. It doesn't demand explanations. It doesn't require performance. It simply stays. That's the kind of love God is asking you to carry to your son. The kind that Jesus lived every day. He didn't wait until people were healed to come close. He came close so they could begin to heal. That's what you're being asked to do now. To come close, even if you're unsure how. To come close, even if the pain feels bigger than what you can hold. Because the truth is, you're not holding it alone. God is with you, and more than that, He is ahead of you. He is already softening your son's heart. He is already opening doors you thought were shut. He is already preparing healing that you haven't seen yet. All He needs is your willingness to say, "Yes, Lord, I'll go, I'll stay, I'll love." You might be wondering how to start. Do you call? Do you show up? Do you simply sit in the same room and wait for the right moment? The truth is, there is no perfect formula. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply let your son know you're thinking of him, that you're available, that you see him. It might come through a simple message, a gentle gesture, or even a quiet presence. Don't underestimate how much healing happens when someone feels seen again. Type yes if you know God placed this love in your heart for a reason. Your love is not ordinary. It's not small. It is God, breathed, placed in your soul with purpose. And when it's poured out in obedience to His calling, it becomes part of something divine. You may not see the full picture right away. That's okay. Faith is not about seeing everything clearly. Faith is about trusting that your steps, guided by God's voice, are leading toward restoration even if they feel small. This journey may be slow. There might be silence at first. There might be moments when you feel like your love is not being received. Don't let that stop you. Don't let fear win. Keep showing up. Keep believing that love makes a difference, even when it's not immediately visible. Your consistency matters. It tells your son you're worth staying for. And that message, spoken without words, carries more healing than you know. You're not just helping your son find healing. You're helping him remember who he is. He is not his mistakes. He is not his struggles. He is not forgotten. He is loved deeply by you, and more importantly, by God. Sometimes, all someone needs is to hear that truth again and again and again until they start to believe it. Be the voice that reminds him. Be the one who reflects God's grace when the world has been too harsh. Be the arms that stay open when life has closed too many doors. You don't have to do it perfectly. You just have to do it faithfully. You may not know what's going on in his heart. You may not understand all the reasons for his silence, his sadness, or his distance. But God knows. And he's inviting you to trust him as he gently shows you how to love through this. There is no manual for moments like these, but there is grace. Grace that flows when you say, God, I don't know what to do, but I'm willing to be here. Type 2323 if you believe God speaks to your heart. This 9-word phrase was once buried under government secrecy, but now it's resurfacing, sparking a global wave of prosperity stories. Experts reveal it reactivates a money magnet section of your brain most people never use. Say it once daily, and watch financial blocks vanish. But this page could vanish too. Click the link in the description and comments before it's gone. There is no such thing as wasted love. Even if your son doesn't respond the way you hope, even if it seems like he's pushing you away, your love, when it comes from a place of patience and peace, is never forgotten. It plants seeds. It breaks ground that pain tried to harden. It makes room for trust to grow again. And while trust may not bloom overnight, it does begin with the quiet choice to stay near. If you think you need to have perfect words or a flawless plan, let that go. What matters most right now isn't eloquence, it's presence. Your son may not need advice. He may not even need answers. What he likely needs more than anything is to know that you see him, that you hear him, even in his silence, that you care enough to stay, even when the situation feels unclear or uncomfortable. Think of Jesus, walking into people's lives when they were at their lowest. He didn't ask them to come clean before he showed up. He didn't wait for them to figure it out. He came close. He met them in the mess. He offered himself fully, with no demands. That's the kind of love you're being called to give right now. Not love that fixes, love that simply remains. And yes, this kind of love costs something.